So they could hold them out and have them do the press the next week during the bye week.
Well, that's what he'll probably do.
And plus with the practice tonight, more likely, I mean, you're going to have a shitload of stuff tonight.
No.
I'm assuming you're at that.
Yeah, but there's not going to be anything we're doing. So we have the Jared Dubin.
Yep.
What time is Ian O'Connor?
I'm sorry?
What time is Ian?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
My next project is cleaning up the open. We're going to try to make it Chiefs open.
Well, I'm also letting Mike Good try to do one too if he wants to do one.
Sure.
So let's just get as much as we can in here.
Never smoke again. Amazing, easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, a 10-year mark, she lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. Smoke
Yeah.
nothing more until more Patrick hypnosis. Now we're losing together.
Yeah.
Healthy, full on happy food. Crazy.
Yes. So Dubin, Ian O'Connor at 1 o'clock.
My blood pressure went down, and I got so much energy. So much energy. And look great. Stop smoking. Lose weight.
They're really riding this Andy Reid, best coach of all time.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Join Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar Sunday, September 8th at the Santa Fe Station Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com. Wake up.
All right. What do you want to talk about today, Raider Nation? You still want to stay on this Minshew thing? Thor, what do you want to do here? You want to stay on that? You're going to hear some Bo Nix today. The slurp fest of Bo Nix continues. We're going to have to address that. Got Raiders practice tonight, so I'll be over at, where will I be? At the Legion Stadium tonight.
Here we are.
This is Raider Nation Radio 9:40 a.m. Las Vegas.
You're listening to the JT the Brick Show, where the Raider Nation has come to sound off and react for over 20 years.
It's time for JT the Brick.
This is a new regime led by Antonio Pierce, a former player who's won a Super Bowl. Our vision is clear. Win a division. He's the right guy at the right time for this job. Right guy, right time to get the Raiders back, not to greatness to the playoffs.
Our intention of how we play, the execution of our play, the mindset of our team, that's what I would love to see Antonio Pierce have the opportunity to coach this Raider team. I think he deserves it.
JT the Brick.
This coach wants to be more physical. He wants to put his hands on players.
Like Jordan rules, and I'm calling it out from now on. Going up here and Patrick Mahomes.
I like when the head coach says this. I'm a season ticket. Antonio Pierce went back to where it was in the Coliseum in Oakland. Let's help.
And now, here's JT the Brick.
Out of the gate, JT with you on a nice day today. Cooling off a bit in Las Vegas, flagship of the Silver and Black Raider Nation Radio. Also on the Raiders mobile app, lvsportsnetwork.com, and streaming live on YouTube, where we had a banner day yesterday, our all-time best day. I guess everybody was waiting to hear my hot take on Gardner Minshew, which I didn't think was a hot take, but we went strong on that. And this is part two of Gardner Minshew. Part two tonight, because I'll be over at Allegiant Stadium for the open practice. We'll be there a little bit later on. I'm assuming Gardner Minshew is going to get a lot of work because this is a practice day. I don't care where they have practice, Costa Mesa, Henderson, Allegiant Stadium, in a parking lot. Gardner Minshew needs work. He needs a lot of work. He's a good player. This system's new to him and new to everybody else. They need reps. And that's the focus of the monologue as we open up the show, as we're brought to you by Golden Entertainment, as they own the Strat, and they are excited because a lot of people are coming into town for fantasy football drafts. A lot of people are booking rooms to come out for fantasy football drafts. Not only do they own the Strat, they own PTs. They have the draft kit. They have a new opening I'm going to be telling you about. They got a lot going on. So if you're building your fantasy football draft, head to the Strat, where they're going to have many events around their William Hill Sportsbook, or head on out to any PTs, as they would love to host you for your draft party. I've never played fantasy football. I don't gamble. I don't do a lot of things, and I'm as big as a diehard sports fan as you ever met. I don't know if you know anybody who's diehard into sports than I am, but I don't play fantasy sports. I can't root for other players. Everybody understand that? If I had a fantasy baseball team, it'd have to be the Yankees starting lineup. I can't root for a Giant or a Mariner or a Ray. Can't do that, and I'm not going to do it in football because I like going to football games. But fantasy's huge, and fantasy is huge, and sports gambling's huge, and I'm happy that everybody does it and gets together. One of the things about fantasy football, more so than sports gambling on just games, is fantasy football brings guys and gals together. They get together and they talk football, they talk sports, and I encourage that. That's what I want more people to do. I want everybody to get together and talk sports and have a good time at a bar, right? We talk about a lot of booze on this show. We talk about bars. We talk about what guys like to do, but I'm not a guy that wants to sit in a bar and talk to people for 40 minutes about my fantasy football team. I don't care about it. You might. I think fantasy football radio is some of the worst radio I've ever heard in my life because most of the men who listen are timid and scared, and they want someone else to build their fantasy football team. And they sit there on eggshells. Oh, who are you taking in the first round? Oh, my God, Field Yates wants – no, he wants him in the second round. And people let other people pick their teams. So be bold, be a man, be a lady. Build your own fantasy football team. Live with it, and good luck. And maybe you win your contest. You don't want to come in last because you don't want to wear a costume. And you're seeing a lot of these signups. We support the Westgate because I go back with Jay Cornegay and Jeff Sherman as long as anybody in town. Circa has a big one. I know Lotus does a lot with Circa. So if you're going to be in a Survivor contest or a pool or a super contest, we love that too. I've had buddies who have won those in the past, and they're really sharp, and it's hard to do that. So it's getting ready. It's getting ready for you to amp up your gambling, amp up your fantasy football, and that overall helps you with your knowledge of the sport, which is good for me. 702-365-9200. There should be 1,000 Raider fans trying to call me every day. One day I'll have 9 phone lines full and I'm going to quit. That's the day I told Bobby I'm going to quit and leave radio and go retire on the beach. But the day I come in here and every line is full and everybody wants to talk, that's the day I'm going to say goodbye, all my sponsors, partners, and say I've accomplished it all. Until then, I'll give you the number and invite you into the show, 702-365-9200. So what have we learned about Minshew in the last 24 hours that we didn't know already? We know he's good. Raider fans should know that. He closed down the Oakland Coliseum and beat the Raiders again last year. Minshew's pretty good against the Raiders. So Raider fans should be familiar with Gardner Minshew. Jacksonville fans are familiar with him. Indy fans. He had a cup of coffee in Philadelphia. He's made every throw. He's run for first downs. His stats are pretty good. They're kind of middle of the road, pretty good. They're not bad. And he seems to be a swashbuckling leader that a lot of people like to be around because his energy is infectious. So that's what we know about him. But what we don't know about him, we got to figure out here in about 19 days. As the big news coming out of Southern California is that Justin Herbert is out of the boot and he's back at practice sooner than later. Bravo. I'm fine with that. I want Justin Herbert at full strength. I don't root for injuries, and he's starting to come back, and Harbaugh is really excited about it. As a matter of fact, listen to this Harbaugh line that we have on Justin Herbert, because Harbaugh can be a bit goofy at press conferences, and here's what he had to say.
I felt like the music should be playing. I thought I heard the Voices of Angels, maybe. So great.
So Harbaugh, normally when a head coach takes over a new team where a quarterback has been established, Sean Payton ran Russell Wilson right out of town. Ran him out of town. Harbaugh loves Justin Herbert. He's a top 5 potential quarterback in the league. He should be top 4 to 5 for the next 10 years. He's that good. Herbert is that good, but he does lose games. He doesn't play elite against the Raiders from time to time, but we all know that Herbert is really good. If the Raiders had Herbert, they'd be a Super Bowl contender with maybe one more free agent. That's how good the Raiders would be. If the Raiders had Herbert, along with Devontae, Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, there'd be a love affair around this country for the Raiders. But we don't have that now because we have Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. So expect Herbert to play in the game, and I've always expected him to play. But for Gardner Minshew, he moved the needle a bit. I saw it on NFL Live and NFL Network, and he's going to move the needle a bit. Thursday, I'll be at a production meeting with him. So he's going to come in with Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco. So I've met him a couple of times, but he doesn't know me really well. I'll get a chance to sit down with him for about a half hour Thursday afternoon. And I'm going to get to know this guy and see how good he can be. But he has to play well in this system because he's played in a lot of different systems. Jacksonville's, Philadelphia, Indianapolis, they all have systems. Head coaches, offensive coordinators. This is a brand new system that nobody has played in under Luke Getsy. And by the way, no one, from what I can tell, has played pretty good in this new system. I believe in the system of 12 personnel and 2 tight ends and Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker taking the top off and Zamir White. I agree with the system. Okay, it's not a system that is, hey, let's just throw it up. Let's just throw it all over the yard. It's not that. And traditionally, I like that system. I like to be faster. I'm always talking about speed. Hurry up, run more plays, take shots more. Even if they're incomplete, throw a deep one early in the game just to send a message. But I can't do that anymore. All I can do is trust the system of Luke Getsy that he has installed throughout the offseason and the preseason that seems to be fundamentally sound. 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, no fullback, lone running back, the ability to go 4 wide, the ability to have 2 tight ends in the game. And most likely, if you do the math, you got 2 tight ends and a running back and 2 wide receivers. And if you're going to leave a tight end in the block, you want to have another one like Trey Tucker. You know the system in place here. So that's what Luke Getsy's going to have to go with. And Gardner Minshew's got to figure it out. So I was at Costa Mesa for about 7, 8, 9 practices. I'm emceeing the practice tonight again on the field. I'll watch a little bit when we're not giving away T-shirts and cannons and parachutes, which I support for the kids there. We got to find a way for Gardner Minshew to excel in this system. We weren't able to talk about that all summer. Why would we? We didn't know that Gardner Minshew would be named the starting quarterback for the Silver and Black. Now we do. Now we got to figure out how is he going to thrive in this system. Well, the only thing that I could figure out, and I've been around the NFL for a while and been around a lot of Hall of Famers, is everybody I'm talking to here seems to say one thing: get the ball out. Just get it out. A hot potato, just get the ball out. Don't hold it. Don't hold it. You're not going to have a lot of time early, especially early in the season with the pass rush. Just go with the plays that you're running with in Henderson. Get the ball out quickly and let the playmakers make plays. Let's talk about those playmakers. Devontae Adams. He's going to be double-teamed every time he takes the field, every time. So you're going to have him with a cornerback, usually press coverage against him, or the cornerback being off, and a safety, one of the two over the top on Devontae's side. We all understand that concept correctly, right? We all understand that Devontae will be double-teamed on every play. So let's stop with Devontae. How's he feeling about all this? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Is Devontae fine with this? He was an AOC guy. He was a Derek Carr guy. He was an Aaron Rodgers guy. I don't know how great he is, but I think Devontae's all in to win. And Devontae wants to win desperately, and I think he'll embrace this and be a good teammate. That's what I believe. Okay, so what do you got to do with Devontae with Gardner Minshew to get him the ball? Well, Devontae's got to work a lot in the next 19 days with Gardner Minshew after practice. Jerry Rice, after practice, and get on the same page with Gardner Minshew. I trust that he will do that. So we're good with Devontae. Now let's go to Jacoby Myers, who I think is a top 5 number 2 receiver. Not top 5 receiver in the league. He's good. But if you look at the number 2s, which would be Brandon Ayuk, go around the league. Every team that's really good's got 2 wide receivers, right? Cincinnati's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Okay, if you look at the secondary receiver, the number 2 receiver, I put Jacoby in the top 5 to top 7. He's really good. He typically will not be double-teamed. He will line up in single coverage. There'll be safeties over the top, but they'll concentrate on Devontae. All right, let's go to Michael Mayer. He will never be double-teamed. Never. He will be in single coverage. He'll either be staying into block, blocking down and being an extra offensive lineman, which is pretty big, And this offensive line, by no means, is an elite offensive line, especially right now. So Mike might have to stay in and block a bit. But when he does release off the block and you get him the ball, he's a machine, a monster strong, and he can run and he can get you some yards. So we're good with him. Then we go to Zamir White in the backfield. Big question mark. A lot of people want to get behind this kid. But it's tough to do it after Josh Jacobs was elite. He led the league in rushing 2 years ago. And we've seen Josh do a lot of cool things. So with all of that, Zamir White is a major question mark. But I think he has tremendous upside. Whenever you hear in sports about a player having a big ceiling, right? What's the ceiling? Well, doesn't that define Zamir White? I don't know what his ceiling is. I don't know. I don't know if he can give you 150 yards a game every game. I mean, that'd be a high ceiling. A low ceiling would be 45 yards. I don't know. I think he's going to be pretty good because he's young and he's very physical and he's strong. But as I talked about with my son, can he hit the hole as fast as Josh Jacobs? Don't know. Don't know. I saw him last year in the last 4 games. Looked good to me. And then we have Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker seems to have been an improved player from maybe dropping the ball. Remember, Cliff Branch's first year was a disaster. He was dropping the ball all day long. He's in the Hall of Fame. Trey Tucker seems like he's improved his toe tap, his catching. He's good. He had LASIK surgery. Everybody's talking about his LASIK, so he's supposed to see the ball better. I think everybody who's watching me or listening to me right now is okay with Trey Tucker. There's no one saying, oh, my God, he's Lynn Bowden, whatever his name is, or he's Henry Ruggs, who's out of the league, or he's this guy. No, everybody seems to think Trey Tucker's a pretty good player. Problem is the national media never heard of him. Never heard of him. Like, this guy's on NFL Live. If you said Trey Tucker, they would not know who he is, and they're on television. And then finally, I saved the best for last, Brock Bowers. For those who are like, what is he saying? Brock's never played. Well, I have to go all in. If you want me to look forward to the season like I am, and you want me to find the upside into the season, I have to put all my Vegas Raiders chips in on Brock Bowers being a rookie of the year type candidate. He probably won't get it because it'll go to a quarterback. There's some good ones out there that are rookies. But Brock Bowers has to have a great year. It cannot be what Michael Mayer did last year, and it had nothing to do with Big Mike. It had everything to do with the former coach and his staff that got fired because they didn't go back to Big Mike, and they should have all the time. That mistake, from what I'm sensing, will not happen with Luke Getsy. From what I'm suggesting, I don't think I'm going to come into the studio on Mondays after games on Sundays going, oh, my God, Brock Bowers only got 2 targets. If we got that problem going on, we got a problem. So I just named all the weapons here. And it brings me back again to Gardner Minshew. What is the strength of Minshew getting the ball out quickly? The strength of Gardner Minshew is not a 5 and 7 step drop. Sit in the pocket, wait, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, throw a dart 35 yards. That's not his strength. The strength of him is making plays when he has to, making critical 3rd down plays, making plays when the pocket breaks down, and then making easy throws. So you're going to hear me use that term a lot on this show here up until the Charger game. We got to make a lot of easy throws, easy completions around here for some type of production. The production would be Zamir White close to 4 yards a carry, which isn't asking for much. 3.5 won't do it. Need 4 yards a carry. And I need a lot of targets to the tight ends who are going to be crisscrossing. I need guys in motion to try to confuse the safeties. But I need a lot of simplicity. I need short throws that are fast, that are conservative, that move the chains, and then open up the deep pass because the opposition, the defensive coordinator, is worried about Zamir White running the ball, so the safety is going to come up in the box a bit. And there's the ability for Trey Tucker to go deep, so your safety is going to have to pay attention on the back end. And then they're not going to be able to keep up with the 2 young stud tight ends because they're young, they're fresh, they have no wear and tear on their body in the NFL, and we got to use them really heavy year 1 of the Sketsy system. Did I forget anything? I don't think I forgot anything. I don't have notes. I don't have anything. Nothing. It's just off the top of my head. I live this. So I don't think it needs to be complicated. Getsy's not showing anything right now. When we have practices that are closed off to the public, you have to put your phones away. at practice other than stretching in this open window. Tonight at Allegiant Stadium, everyone's got a cell phone. Getsy's not going to be running plays into the Charger game that you're going to be sitting there going, oh, my God, I saw something that Jim Harbaugh didn't see. It's going to be very vanilla. But I'd like to see the team stress getting the ball out quickly, play faster, and be a bully. I mean, Antonio Pierce has preached that to me and you and everybody else. This team has got to have some type of an advantage with their physicality. They have to. Colt Miller is a quiet guy, but a big, strong guy. He'll throw you around. Jackson Powers Johnson seems to be a very violent player, but I doubt he'll be available for week 1, even though he's coming off the PUP list. Andre James is a good center. He's not elite. He's not going to throw people all around the ballpark. Then you look at who's left. Whitehair, you look at some of the backups here and you go, okay, they're former Pro Bowlers. They can play. Andres Pete, yeah, he's a decent player at a position better than the other. And we still have a question mark at right tackle because Thayer Mumford, who I think has the lead, right? It's the same thing, Aiden O'Connell versus Gardner Minshew. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? Well, we found out it's Gardner Minshew. Who's going to be the starting right tackle? I think it's Thayer Mumford, but DJ Glaze is closing in on him. So that's what we have happening. So with the strength of the offense, notice I haven't mentioned the defense much. We got to be a bully on defense. Max and Christian Wilkins and Robert Spillane should be able to take care of that. They got to be the leaders of the bully ball. But on the offensive side, we got to be pretty tough. Got to be a nasty, tough team that you don't want to face because the offensive line and the running back are going to run it down your throat. They're going to run it down your throat. And as much as you think you're going to stop it, you're not. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it in the team hotel the night before the game because you know Getsy wants to run it right at you and down your throat. So we got to have the players who can do that and aren't intimidated and are fast off the ball and don't jump off sides and are disciplined to do all that. So with all of that happening here, we got to see what's going to happen. Okay, we got to see what we can put into the system with the tight ends here, hoping that they pick it up quickly. I mean, it's really like going to Harvard or Stanford and you're a freshman. And then you're taking 18 credits your first year, and they give you all the syllabuses and the books, and you go back to your room and go, holy crap, I actually got to do homework every day? It's going to take me 12 hours of homework on top of going to class? Yeah, that's where we're at in the next 19 days. Homework, mandatory study hall, extra time in the building. Everybody get your ass in gear and become Raiders who can win at LA. Just become that guy. And if you come up short, you come up short. But you got a good game plan and you'll live another day. That's a pretty important game that the Raiders need. And I think the Raiders roster as of today is better than the Chargers. They don't have a better quarterback. But overall, I think you can go player by player like I just did and put them up against the Chargers, and you'll see the Raiders have a handful of more better players than the Chargers do. But they have to execute. So we'll find out what's going to happen. We want to hear from you, 702-365-9200. A lot of people did not call in yesterday on Gardner Minshew because they're back to work on Monday. They're doing their thing. Now we get an opportunity right here to talk about Gardner Minshew. I'd like to hear more fans get behind Gardner Minshew and talk him up. I'd like to hear that on this show. I would. And if you're critical of Gardner Minshew, let us know. And we'll try to have a conversation about why he could be better than what you think. But this is what we got. I'm okay with Gardner Minshew. Talked to my buddy Dave, who I went to high school with. He lives in Jacksonville. And he called me today and he goes, yeah, I told you. Gardner was going to start. He likes Gardner a lot. I go, what should I tell my audience on radio? And he said, he's better than they think. He's better than they think. And I think that's fair. You know, but there's a lot of Raider fans that aren't comfortable comparing Minshew to Gannon, Minshew to Plunkett. How could you not compare him to those guys? Plunkett was left for done. He was left for done. Wasn't like he was left for, hey, Plunkett's going to be good. Give him some time. He was left for done by the league. Al Davis, the Maverick, was the guy that said, no, you need to come here and rest. Please come here, rest, get ready. We're going to need you. How genius was that? Where do you put that in the Al Davis top 10? It's got to be maybe top 3 because he's got 3 Super Bowls and Plunkett got 2 of them. So that was a pretty good decision. And then Gruden, and I've talked about it with Bruce Allen and other people around the organization when they got Gannon, they thought that they got a prize player because Marty Schottenheimer at the time dropped the ball on Gannon. He dropped the ball on Gannon when Gannon was leading the team, and Gannon could have been great in Kansas City for 4 or 5 years like he played with the Raiders. Marty, everyone's like, should Marty be in the Hall of Fame? I never thought Marty Schottenheimer was a Hall of Famer. He screwed up Gannon pretty good, right? So I don't think he should have got fired the year he won 12 games, but he lost in the first round. But coaches sometimes have a really good quarterback right in front of them, and they don't pull the trigger. Remember Kurt Warner was boxing groceries, right, playing in the Arena League. A lot of coaches had an opportunity to look at Kurt Warner, didn't get it right, and then look what happened with the greatest show on turf. So for Gardner Minshew, he's got to increase his production when it comes to percentage-wise. He's got to complete more balls. He can't turn it over a lot. And they've got to, I don't want to say dumb it down because that's the opposite of what I just said here. I want it to be faster. I want it to be elaborate. But kind of it's got to be simplified to the point where Gardner is really comfortable in the next 19 days with this playbook. And there's a lot of good quality checkdowns and throws that he can make that are good enough to win games. Thought that was a pretty good monologue. That's it.
For Tuesday.
That's what I got for a Tuesday. We got a busy week the rest of the week. I'll see you tonight over at Allegiant Stadium if you're coming to the practice. I don't know what this crowd side's going to be, but I think this is going to be a better practice. It better be. They stunk it up against the Cowboys. That game wasn't anything to right. I hit delete. I watched it. I hit delete when that game was over, and I called it. On the radio side, I hit delete. I don't need to see that game again. And then the last practice I was at, they didn't decide on the quarterback. So I'm hoping tonight there's a little bit more clarity for the Raider fans who are coming, and they're going to see Gardner Minshew and see what he can do. I would hope that be the case. 702-365-9200. Ultra Mike. Start us off, Mike. What's going on?
Ultra Raider Mike.
Yes,
You
Bob.
made me change my name.
Yeah, Mike, we're working through that. This is an experiment with names because I only have one Raider Mike, and I respect the Raider Mike. I got to leave him at Raider Mike, but we'll call you Ultra Raider Mike. Yes.
It don't matter. We're all in one nation.
Yes, we are. Go ahead.
Worry about it. I don't care. It's music to me.
Yep.
Anyway, Minshew. Studied him. I'm a Pac 12 now 2 punk. I'm a duck. I watched him at Wazoo do magic. I'm like, this kid's gonna play in the NFL. And was like, he's Wazoo's 6th round pick. No, he's nothing. No, Leach made him into something. This guy was throwing 50 times a game and winning against good Pac-12 competition. So I've always wanted him to be a Raider. He's the Gardner snake. He's mini snake. He reminds me of my snake. My Raider card that went in the Gulf of Mexico. All my rookie cards, every Stabler card since.
Raider Nation, what's your name?
You know, I love
Hi, what's
what
your
he's
name,
gonna
man?
do. Like you said, quick, hard
Hi,
punches.
what's your name, man?
You got the 2 best young tight ends in the league. Gronk, Hernandez. Hopefully, no one murders anybody. You know what I mean? We are set up for success. Our defense, top 4, easy.
Yeah.
They're going to put the Muppet King into the ground. That's the goal.
That is the goal. That is the goal, Mike, and I appreciate the call. And look, I'm trying to focus on Gardner Minshew today. The defense is good. The defense needs to be tested. They're not going to get tested against the Niners. No one's playing. The starters aren't playing. But the run defense has not been great in the preseason so far. I think they'll be able to turn that up and get ready for the Chargers there. But this is going to come down to the offense. I don't want to say conservative. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I'm trying to say I want the offense to be conservative early, but I don't want to go there. What I want the offense to do is be efficient, and the only way I could see this offense becoming efficient early is a lot of short stuff where Minshew gets it out. It's safe. It's to Bowers. It's short, and then the playmakers make plays. I can't see anything else here. I can't close my eyes and envision Minshew throwing 30-yard outs to Devontae just yet. maybe that changes here pretty quickly. Thor's in Summerlin, always positive, diehard with the Raider Nation. Go ahead, Thor.
Hey, what's happening, my brother?
What do you say?
You know it. Always positive, baby. Always positive, diehard, and hopefully I'll see you out there tonight. I should
Yes.
with my wife. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Everyone knows I was an AOC dude. But like I said, whoever it is, I'm behind. I felt like it was 51-49 either way. So, I mean, Gardner, just the ability to move, to get out of the pocket, to keep plays alive with those first 4 games we're playing is huge. If the O-line's not 100%, we don't really know what's up with JPJ. We know Colton will be back. But, you know, he hasn't had as much time. So I think they went with that route. And I think Gardner can do it. I think Gardner has the potential. I think we are set up to run the ball. But when I say run the ball, I'm talking about run the ball, but short passes that are an extension of the run to me. You got these tight ends who are monstrous. You got Jacoby Myers. And little 3-yard passes that can turn into 15-yard catch and runs and stuff like that is an extension of the run.
Yeah.
So to me, that goes into that. And then that sets up play action to where you can go over to Trey Tucker flying down the field and Devontae 30 yards down the field. And I think we saw Minshew make some of those nice deep ball throws to Trey Tucker. So we know he can do it. If you look at his career, he's done it a few times. He's a journeyman, kind of in the same way Rich Gannon.
Well, look what he did with Pittman. Look what he did with Pittman and other good receivers that he's had along the way. But
yes,
Thor, before
never had this good of offensive help with him.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call, buddy. See you tonight. Probably head over to Whiskey afterwards. I got my son with me, maybe, and a buddy. Maybe go over there for a beverage after practice there. But Thor made a very good point. This is only going to work if the running game is established and you can work off play action. That's the only chance. Other than that, you can't do anything without the play action. Right, Bobby? You can't do anything without the play action. You have to set up the run to set up the pass. You know, Drew Brees never cared about the play action. Drew Brees liked it when it was working well, but Drew Brees was going to just throw it all over the place no matter what. And I want to get into that because Sean Payton now is – the propaganda for Bo Nix is at an all-time high. Everybody get ready for that. He might be pretty good. I never said he was terrible. You're not hearing me saying Bo Nix sucks. I just think that there's so many desperate people out there needing Sean Payton to win that they're telling you Bo Nix is going to be great. Just like everyone's telling you Harbaugh is going to go and win 11 games because they love Harbaugh. And the fascination of that. There's no fascination right now in the Raider Nation. Nobody around the league is fascinated with the Raiders, who have Devontae Adams and Max Crosby, 2, I think, of the top 12 players in the entire league. That's a pretty good percentage for one team to have 2 of the top 12 players there, but it doesn't move the needle with anybody until the Raiders start winning games. Tito's Handmade Vodka. I love me a Tito's. You can have Tito's on the rock, Tito's and soda, whatever you have. Remember, Tito's is a proud partner of our show. They're our newest partner. We're welcoming in a bunch here. Been trying to get them on board, and they are on board now. Tito's, proud partner of Raider Nation Radio here as we open it up. Now, we got a couple of interviews we're going to get to, but I got a big one at the top of the hour, and that's with Ian O'Connor, who wrote the Aaron Rodgers book. So I'm fascinated by Aaron Rodgers, the topic, how he doesn't talk with his family, the way Brett Favre treated him, his college years, the Jets. I'm going to do a dig. I hope you appreciate my interviews. I've been doing it a while. We're going to have a big one coming up with Ian O'Connor, top of the hour on the book, and we're working on other couple of things here. Practice tonight, which will be at Allegiant Stadium, 6 o'clock. Parking's for free around there if you get there in time, and I would get there early, get in there and take advantage of the stadium. Get the whole stadium to walk around. You can go wherever you want, pretty much, I think. Some areas no, but you can get around and enjoy it. Look at some new sight lines. Find out where you want to be. Maybe new season tickets down the road. And it's August. I did a podcast today on how great it is to be alive and working in August. The end of the summer is approaching. We're proud to be here on the flagship of the Silver and Black.
You can stay in touch with your favorite stations.
Yeah, so I just put this Vegas born guy in timeout. started taking shots at the owner. So if you make it personal on the owner, you get kicked out or you get put in timeout. So he'll disappear for 24 hours.
Raider Nation Radio, ESD and Las Vegas, Fox Sports Las Vegas, 12:30 The Game. It's all part of the LV Sports Network and can all be streamed live on the LV Sports Network app. Download it today.
TJ said he can
BT's
hear the
Tavern is
producer.
gearing up
Why
for
wouldn't you
football
be able to hear
season
the
this
producer?
August.
The producer's
Book your
producing
fantasy
the show.
football draft party and enjoy 10% off all food and drink
I
purchases,
think he means
plus
he can hear
free
you screaming
Wi-Fi,
the call.
draft kit, and more. PT's is your home for Vegas's best happy hour with 50% off drinks and $6 personal pizzas, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Is that
daily.
Big D, my
With
guy,
over
Big
70
D?
taverns, there is
D
always a
Garcia, I
location
love
near
him,
you.
man.
To
We go
find
back
yours
as long
and
as
book your
anybody, I
fantasy
can
draft
tell you
party,
that.
visit
Big D. Big D
ptstaverns.com
went to New
today.
Orleans with me once.
Allegiant Stadium is the home to world-class events like the Raiders, the
What am
Rebels,
I wearing
Pro
today?
Soccer,
Someone
and
asked. It's a
Superstar
tailgate.
concerts. And your home for the pre- and
Back in
post-game
Oakland.
parties is the Tailgater Tavern.
I like a Raider t-shirt, extra large. Put it in the chat. I'll give you the address of the studio. And if you have a Raider booster club or Raider gear, Raider shirt that I can wear here during the stream, I'd love to do it.
The Tailgater Tavern at Russell and Valley View, your gateway to the stadium. Nothing better than spring in Vegas.
God, I got up early today, real early, before 6. Walked the dog, did a video, walked again, got in the pool, went over some things with my wife, and then came in here.
Rhino Shield
And
ceramic
my Sunday,
technology
Monday
is
is going to be
formulated
insane,
for our
man, with the
climate
Raiders.
right here in Las Vegas.
Sunday pregame, postgame, Mad Dog 8 to 11 p.m. Monday, early TV with Eric Allen at 8:30 in the morning
Rhino
with Rich
Shield is backed
Gannon.
by a 25-year
Into the show
transferable
noon to
warranty,
2
and if
into
you
Mad
act
Dog
now,
at
you'll
Win
get
4 to 7.
15% off the regular price.
Sunday, Monday is going to be my hell day, and then it gets easier from there. We got Aruba 1, Venezuela nothing in
This
the
offer
bottom
is
of the
limited, so
6th.
call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again.
Rhino Shield. Raider Nation.
Your chance to win a $2,500 game day experience is closer than you think. Make a qualifying purchase at any participating Terribles and use your app at the register for your chance to win our ultimate Raiders game day giveaway.
Minshew runs when wide receivers are wide open in front of him. Are you sure about that, guy? So you have a lot of film of Minshew running when guys are open, huh? Okay.
Every day is game day. Exclusively at Terribles. Visit Terribles.com for game details.
Hi, sports fans, it's the herd. In sports, we often talk about a difference maker. Well, in business, there are difference makers as well. Ford Country in the Valley Auto Mall is one of them. With every new vehicle purchase, you get the Ford Country difference.
Minshew's a guy that probably thought he was going to get this job. Aiden didn't play well, and when Aiden didn't play well, he took advantage of it. I just didn't see him take advantage of it a lot. I wasn't that impressed with either quarterback at camp, but that's camp. That's not regular season.
The best place to watch any big game is Doghouse Saloon at Resorts World Las Vegas. Doghouse has the best views to watch.
If everybody can please hit subscribe and like, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Specials and an amazing after party with live music, entertainment, dancing, and dueling pianos. Also inside Doghouse is Mouse House, a dining truck serving specialty grilled cheeses. The JT the Brick Show is a proud partner of the
I'm going to give you a
Doghouse Saloon at
Resorts World here.
Resorts World Las Vegas.
For Andrew Paul.
Tito's homemade vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach.
Yeah.
From a seat in the stands to the best
We have
seat
so
on the
many
couch.
partners
Root
on
for
this
your
show
favorite
that we
team
gotta.
with your favorite team spirit.
We
No
got
matter
more
who's
partners
on your
than
roster,
fingers.
lineup, or lucky jersey, make Tito's your first round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof craft, and to be savored responsibly.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by PT's, the best happy hour in town, 5 to 7 p.m. and midnight to 2 a.m.
Has Bo Nix done enough to win the starting quarterback job in your view?
Well, listen, he's played well. I'm not announcing any starting quarterback tonight, or I'll let you guys know when the time comes. But I thought he played well.
Oh, Bo Nix getting a lot of press. That's Sean Payton, JT, back with you as we are brought to you by Resorts World. How about that? Swim Week Las Vegas is here, powered by a great group, Art Hearts Fashion. Excited to share the official run a show for all Swim Week events. Don't miss out. They do a great job at Resorts World with their pools, their restaurants, everything that we do there at Resorts World based around Monday Night Football last year, Thursday Night Football this year. And remember, Kevin Hart is coming for the Ultimate Takeover. This is August 29th to September 1st. And you can get your tickets now. Go to Resorts World Las Vegas on social media. All their links are active, and you can see everything that they're doing. Kevin Hart is going to take over the property. That's Heartbeat Weekend, August 29th to September 1st. There are a lot of links to get tickets. All you got to do is go to the Resorts World page, or I tell everybody it's rwlasvegas.com. But follow Resorts World on Twitter. They got a really good social media presence, and you'll get those deals before everyone. 702-365-9200. We are talking about Gardner Minshew yesterday and today, and this topic will be pretty important. But there's a little bit of a bye week after the final preseason game. I'm excited, of course, for the 49ers to be in town, and a lot of Niner fans that come to Vegas. There's a lot of Niner fans that live in Vegas, so there's going to be a lot of red jerseys there. And hopefully Raider fans aren't selling their tickets openly to Niner fans. There are Raider fans that want to go, but there'll be a lot of them. There are a lot of Cowboy fans. There'll be a lot of Niner fans. And this game where Antonio Pierce said he's not going to play the starters, well, Aiden O'Connell's not a starter. I can go for watching Aiden O'Connell play a quarter or two. You know, Bradley, the quarterback there, Peterman, what are they going to do? But the team needs a little bit more work. But I think Antonio Pierce looked at the roster and said, we got this far. OTAs, mini camps, training camp, Costa Mesa. Let's not screw it up. We got 19 days before the game. Let's get everybody off the field. Let's get the starters off the field, get a lot of practice in behind the scenes, and get this team ready. AJ in Milwaukee. I believe that is right, if I got that right, on the Raiders mobile app. What's happening, AJ?
Yes, sir. Always good to talk to you, JT.
Thank you.
Hey, man, now we know. Now we know it's Gardner, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know what to expect a little bit going forward. We've seen him in the past. He was great at feeding Pittman. He was great at feeding deep Chark in Jacksonville. Now he's got a chance to feed a premier guy in Devontae, right? But what does that look like with our offensive line? That's where it all starts. We've got two guys, Colton Miller, Jackson Powers-Johnson, both of them coming off the pup, both of them with some shoulder issues.
Mm-hmm.
With JPJ, it kind of makes me a little bit worried. Not in longevity. That guy's going to be a baller for us for years to come. That's what I think. But right away to start the season, we got the Chargers. He probably won't see the field there. But we're going to go against the Ravens, another great pass protection. We'll see the Browns. We'll see the Steelers. We'll see the Rams. We got all these premier pass rushers that we're going to be going up against. If this offensive line doesn't get going, if it doesn't stand tough, the offense isn't going to go anywhere. And that's part of the reason why I think they think, okay, Gardner can move a little bit better. Maybe he's going to need to. They've spent a lot of time this offseason focusing on the depth of the offensive line. You know, we had a couple guys, Andres Pete, Cody Whitehair, some former Pro Bowlers. We re-signed Andre James, drafted JPJ and DJ Glaze, got some good tight ends blocking. That's where it's all going to start, especially with this strength of schedule that we have. We need to have them maulers up front, protecting our quarterback, or else nothing's going to happen. Thanks, JT.
Yeah, I agree with you. The offensive line's got to be they got to play at a very high level. I've been very cautious on JPJ from seeing him on the sidelines working to get ready. I can't imagine how he's going to be able to play for the Charger game without playing at all. I don't know how he can do that. I don't think he can, nor do you have to have him play. But Colton Miller, who they've been very cautious with, and Colton coming off of surgery a while ago, and he should be 100% from everything I've heard. Colton Miller should be ready to go, but he will get in no reps, most likely 0 reps other than practice reps leading into that. I don't know. Tonight, I have no idea when Colton Miller is going to hit the field, but that's one guy that we have to have him healthy and fresh and ready to go. Must. So if they're cautious with him, if they're cautious with Devontae, whoever they're cautious with, I don't care. I don't care. This is going to be the final preseason game. There's going to be a lot of guys trying to make the team on special teams, being the 6th receiver, to try to prove that they can play defensive tackle. There's 3 defensive tackles who are pretty young on the chopping block. Maybe 2 out of 3 of them will get chopped because of the addition of Christian Wilkins. John Jenkins making the team. And Tyree Wilson. You know, I'm not getting a lot of it on the internet because I try to avoid that. But some fans have been asking me and tweeting at me, what about Tyree Wilson? Oh, my God, is he trade material? Should we get out of him? No. Tyree Wilson is a second-year player. It's still his rookie year because he was drafted injured. You got to hope that the light's going to go off. You got to hope the light's going to go off. But watching practice with Matt Millen, talking to other people, this guy's got to get going. Tyree Wilson can't be a guy who flashes a couple plays a game. We don't need guys who flash for 2 or 3 plays a game. We need guys who are going to be really good for 25 plays a game. Really good, sound, not getting beat, not making mistakes, no penalties, sacks, tackles, and all that. Does anybody have confidence that Tyree Wilson could do that in the first game of this year? I don't. I mean, I think he's a good player. He got drafted number 7 overall, but he's got to get significantly better until we could talk about him being a playmaker. I don't talk about him being a playmaker now. He's a guy. He's a guy they throw out there who could be a disruptor because of his size and his wingspan. This team needs guys who are going to show up in the stat sheet, period. The same way Robert Spillane did last year. Remember, Spillane came in. Everyone's like, what's he going to do like? Pittsburgh didn't want him. He was kind of like a backup or a guy who played for Pittsburgh. He turned out to be a hell of a Raider. Just had a kid, excited, motivated, in shape, leader, green dot guy who can do it with Divine Diablo. And then finally, the one player I wanted to mention is Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs has got to become somebody. I don't know who he's going to become, but he's got to become somebody. Jack Jones has become someone pretty quick, hasn't he? Very quickly, Jack Jones has become the favorite to a lot of members of Raider Nation. That's like their favorite guy, Max. They like Jack Jones in the secondary. Well, how did Jack Jones surpass Nate Hobbs in popularity? Because he makes plays. He's got remarkable ball skills. Need Nate Hobbs to do that too. I think Trayvon Merrick is coming along fantastic. Love the development of Trayvon Merrick. And I think Marcus Epps, is there anybody quiet, more of a quiet player that just stays below the radar that you can trust? Some good players there. And we've been seeing it. Everybody's been telling us behind the scenes when we interview them that if you look at what we're going to see from number 0 on this team, Jacorian Bennett, everybody will tell you he got better. Now, how much better did he have to get? That's a good topic. But he definitely got better. So on Thursday, we're going to have the production meeting for the broadcast team. So Jason Horowitz, Matt Millen, Rich Gannon, myself, Eric Allen, Lincoln Kennedy, a couple other people in that room. And we're going to sit down with Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and Tom Telesco. So I'll have a really good understanding about what the scheme is and what they're going to try to do. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to figure out how could Gardner Minshew jump into this scheme and be really good. We've been telling you about the Navy Strength rum. That's part of Remy Martin. They're the official cognac of our show. Also, they do an unbelievable job with their Cointreau. It's the best Cointreau in the world that you make your margarita with. The Autumn Wind is a Raider pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you around and upside down while drinking Mount Gay Navy Strength rum. I didn't write it, but I'm saying it. So the next time you're enjoying a frosty rum punch with 114 proof Navy Strength, raise a glass to the Raiders of yesteryear and drink up. Got a nice text from Phil Villapiano, who listens to the show. Says, when am I coming on? I said, calm down, Foo. We're going to need you, man. We're going to need you early in the season. So Foo is packed for Once a Raider, Always a Raider segment. It'll be the first or second week. My first 2 weeks with our alumni, it looks like we got Charles Woodson and Phil Villapiano. That's pretty good. Right out of the gate, and then we'll act accordingly with some of the matchups and some of the teams that are coming up here. But those two gentlemen got back to me first, and we'll get them rolling. One more before the top of the hour, then Ian O'Connor is going to join us. I say O'Connor because my mom's maiden name is O'Connor. Right? So that's on my side of the family. I got O'Connor blood in me. We got Ian O'Connor coming up on the book about Aaron Rodgers. I have it. I haven't read it yet. Been a pretty busy month in August, but I'm taking it on the road. Got one more San Diego trip in me before the end of the summer, which I'm excited about. And we don't come up for air because the regular season is right around the corner.
It's JT the Brick.
I've always said this as a grown-ass man. You can never go ever. Yeah, Eichenberg's not ready yet. I didn't think he was going to find many spots to play in the first couple of weeks, but he's another guy that no one's talking about because he's hurt.
Up as a 38-year-old guy with a beard and bump into a kid and grab his t-shirt.
Okay, but
Nice group, 132 inside here today, man. That's a good number, man. You know, I want to get this to a couple thousand people at some point.
Point Gaming is the official and exclusive local
You're not going to get a lot of people on the phones, Bobby. People don't call radio shows anymore. They text, they tweet, they text, they go in YouTube chat.
Casinos across the valley.
Yep,
Don't let
that's
the game
why.
get out of hand. Please bet responsibly.
What do you want coming back?
And no matter what
I like me doing play-by-play as much as possible.
Stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco.
Yes.
But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's
I'm going to
always
give you a
hope.
Modelo
There are
air
many
check.
safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Terrible's Gaming is giving away a $10,000 vacation every week now through September 30th. Play at your local Terrible's, Terrible's Market, Albertsons, or Vaughn's for your chance to win a 7-day Alaskan cruise, wine tasting in Napa Valley, a 4-night stay on Waikiki Beach, and so much more. Oh yeah, we're also giving away $10,000 in weekly free pay. Play for your chance to win at Terrible's Markets, Albertsons, or Vaughn's near you. Visit TerriblesGaming.com for details.
Patrick Seminars is coming to Las Vegas, Sunday, September 8th for one day only. Here we talk about how hypnosis works to help people lose weight or stop smoking.
We all have an image of ourselves, and that image, if we have an image of a non-smoker, we attract non-smoker behaviors and beliefs. So we have an image of a smoker, we attract the habits of a smoker. If we have the image of a person who is over, if you have a healthy image, you attract healthy habits. We work on under hypnosis, taking the pleasure association out for smokers that they have towards smoking, putting back in.
All right, guys, we're going to go to the top of the hour here, and then I encourage everybody to listen on the app. Adam says at least 10 wins. El Jefe, 14-3.
Don't miss Mark Patrick
Matt,
Seminar, Sunday, September
10-7.
8th at the Santa Fe
Nick,
Station
209,
Hotel and Casino. Go to
8-9.
markpatrickseminars.com.
Tony, 12-5.
John,
Yes.
it's Tuesday and we're still selling lots of cars.
I just did an over-under podcast with my podcast partner, Tom Looney. We're going to play that. We're going to do a little best of kind of show on Thursday. I'm going to add that in.
One of our top-notch
Send it
service
to you.
specialists will take over and manage
Not
their
in your
repair
email?
from start to finish in our state-of-the-art facility. Also here at Finley Toyota.
Yeah, of course. But on a Tuesday?
That's right, Steph. At Finley Toyota, we sell the most cars every day of the week, even on a Tuesday.
Point Gaming is the official and exclusive local
Looney
casino
sent me
partner
the audio
of the Las
link.
Vegas
Oh, no,
Raiders and
first 30.
Allegiant Stadium. Bring your friends.
No, that's just 30
Have some fun,
seconds.
but
He's
always
sending
bet
you.
on black. Visit their 10 casinos across the valley. Don't let the game get out of hand. Please bet responsibly.
You're gonna feel a puff of air.
John's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey Kim, can you tell her to?
Looney said he sent it to your email. Yeah, you don't see it in your email?
Backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
I had a chance to look up at
Drops.
Indeed can help
Okay.
him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and
Got
conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and
Make sure to
conditions
tuck your
apply.
first down.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by the De Casta Verde Law Group. If you get injured in an accident, call 702-222-9999.
Gardner in the shotgun. Michael Mayer in motion. Trey Tucker out to the right. DJ Turner in the slot. A fake handoff to Zeus. Gardner wants to throw it deep to Trey. Long ball. He has it. Yes, he comes down with it. What a catch. What a great route. As Trey goes over the top, Lincoln, and Gardner delivered a deep ball. I think if he let him more, that's a touchdown. Nice. That was good. That was a Trey long ball from Gardner. Let's save that one. JT, back with you, brought to you by the De Casta Verde Law Group. The brothers win. You know, the brothers have your back. Alex and Orlando De Casta Verde. What a legacy with their father who started the law firm, and now they've built on it with great young lawyers and clerks and people in that building. Whenever I'm in Tivoli Village and I see their staff, They come to our events. We say hi to them. They've recovered hundreds of millions for their clients. They're a family-run law firm since 1989 and over a century of combined experience. They're that good. The DeCastroverde Law Group. You should give them a call. You should have their number in your phone just in case, 702-222-9999. I've always said, you want guys who are going to have your back, right? I got your back on the radio. The brothers have your back. The brothers win. And just put it on your phone in case you do get into an accident and you don't feel right, you're injured, and you know you got to do something quick. Get safe, get to the side of the road, make sure you're protected. And then when the chaos starts to begin or you think it's happening, call the DeCastroverde Law Group. They will help you. The brothers have your back. So as we talk about Gardner Minshew and what's going to happen here going forward. Oh, we have that Mike Lombardi with Pat McAfee. I've watched this today. So McAfee's arguably got the biggest platform other than Stephen A. Smith, a friend of ours, in all the media. And Mike Lombardi, formerly with the Raiders, he's in town from time to time in Jersey. I caught this and told Bobby to clip it.
For the Raiders, look, I think when you're spending time deciding whether you should start Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell, you probably should spend time thinking we might need to get another quarterback. Okay. And I think that's probably the real.
Gardner was in the Pro Bowl last year, Lombo. Michael, you son of a.
They need a starting quarterback because their offensive line. Look, people can say all the nice things they want. This is a team last year that won 3 of the last 4 games down the stretch. They lost right in front of you to Indy. And when they turn the ball over on offense, they have no chance to win. The last 4 games of the year, they did not turn the ball over once, right? And the only game they couldn't create a turnover was the game if you watched against the Colts. I just think they're quarterbackless. They've got good skill. Their offensive line's in question, but they need a quarterback.
You don't know Gardner Minshew football, okay? Because right in front of my face last year, I saw Gardner shoulders to me and lead the boys almost to the playoffs, almost to an AFC South championship. Just literally that far
that's
away.
Right. It's literally right there. If he throws it better there, we win the game.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I mean, that's where people misconstrue. Like quarterbacks ask Brady. I mean, it's not about the ball has to be in a certain spot.
Okay, all right, yes, I get it.
When you were in Indianapolis and you played Baltimore and Dallas Clark runs an option route on 3rd down, and if you don't convert it, you're not winning that game over in Baltimore. But Peyton put the ball in the exact only spot it could be, 1st down, game over.
All right, so Mike Lombardi said that they are quarterbackless, the Raiders. Mike Lombardi's been around a long time, worked for the Raiders and Al Davis for a time. He don't think that the Raiders have a quarterback. Quarterbackless. So he's someone that doesn't want to give the Raiders and Gardner Minshew any credit. Not saying he's good, he's okay. The quote was quarterbackless. That's a personal shot at the Raiders. It's okay. Mike fires away. I see Mike. We're very cordial over the years. His son worked for the team. Good guy, Mick. Really good guy when he was here. He's in the media business, got podcasts and motivate. He speaks at events, all that. So another member of the national media, when they had an opportunity to say, yeah, Gardner Minshew's pretty good. He can win some games. He's all right. No. He said the Raiders are quarterbackless. Because some people just can't give the Raiders the benefit of the doubt that some of their players might be better or might be able to win, even though they're not perfect, right? They're not perfect. Everybody's making Bo Nix out to be perfect. Every time I turn on the TV, it's Bo Nix. Every time. Turn it on, there's a couple of shows. All they're doing is LeBron, Caitlin Clark, Aaron Rodgers, and Bo Nix. It's predictable. Thanks to my streamers. Got to come up with the name of our streamers, Bobby. I call them YouTubers, streamers. We got to come up, and someone here in the chat, what should I call everybody who streams this show? Got to come up with a name for that. As we come back, Ian O'Connor will join us. He's got the new Aaron Rodgers book out, which is clearly going to be a bestseller. Stick around for that interview. Thank you, friends. Let's come up with a name for the streaming group that we call it. What's that? Friends? Yeah, we got to come up with something more original. It's not the Black Hole YouTube, it's my YouTube. We do a lot with that. The Bricklayers. The Bricklayers. I like that, Big D. That's interesting.
Listen in Sunday starting at 3:30 on 12:30 The Game.
Yeah, people run their mouth. That's for sure. I'd encourage listening to this interview. I think it'll be good. You'll get that on the Raiders mobile app, ldsportsnetwork.com. We'll do it again tomorrow. Thanks for streaming, everyone.
It's unnecessary roughness live from Circuit Resort and Casino this Friday.